Dear vegans, if you love animals so much, then why do you eat all their food?
I went in and I asked for a coffee with some soy milk or oat milk, and they said they only had normal milk. Like, what the actual since when is drinking milk from a cow normal? That Granny Bibbins person, I know exactly what you mean. She's terrible. She's essentially encouraging an entire generation to be stupid, to not learn the truth. Yeah, I agree. I think the Granny Bibbins person should be banned. There should be only allowed people who tell the truth about what happens to the animals. Only good people who are teaching the facts.
Did you know that vegetarian is an old Native American word? It means bad hunter.
Why do you drink water? That's a fish's home, you monster. Well, I don't know. I mean, do you really think they called me Chris is hopeless? Or maybe you're referring to Sniper Wolf? I'm not sure which one you're talking about. I mean, I guess you're kind of right. I mean, they are paying for the torture and murder of innocent animals.
Hey, what's good, y'all? That vegan teacher is once again on her bullshit. This time she is laying in bed, falling asleep at the camera for some reason, or pretending to, I really don't know, and responding to comments. Kind of. What I mean by this is she's being asked some serious questions, and instead of answering, she just deflects and plays stupid, like most vegan activists do when they are presented with questions that actually could use some answers. They just pretend that your question doesn't even exist in the first place and deflect the entire time. It's completely and utterly useless. But here, you'll see what I mean in just a moment.
I was all set to do a live stream outside of this cafe today in Cologne, Germany. I went in and I asked for a coffee with some soy milk or oat milk, and they said they only had normal milk. Like, what the actual fuck? Since when is drinking milk from a cow normal? What is normal about going under a mother cow, pushing her baby away and starting to suck? It's fucked up. It's 2025, Germany. What the hell's going on? Go vegan!
You must be completely out of your mind, gone completely insane, if you've convinced yourself that people drinking cow's milk is somehow not normal and never has been. I don't know how you could possibly convince yourself of such an obviously incorrect delusion. People have been drinking cow's milk for as long as people have been around cows. This goes back tens of thousands of years and has been normal since then. Now, you might not agree that it should be normal, but then trying to convince yourself that it's not normal at all is confuddling at best. The truth is, your soy milks and your oat milks and your almond milks and your coconut milks weren't really all that accessible until the last, probably 50, 60 years, if we're being completely honest. You now have that luxury of being able to use these alternatives. They are becoming normal in the sense that you have access to them, but not normal in the sense that it's more normal than a cow's milk. The fact of the matter is, the vast majority of things that contain milk, it's usually going to be cow's milk. I can't believe I have to explain that to you. Like, I feel like that's extremely obvious. Now, honestly, you're in Germany. Not exactly the vegan capital of the world or anything like that. Not exactly the best place to bring your vegan ass around. You are probably going to find yourself going into many places where you don't have that many vegan options or alternatives. You set yourself up for failure. This is your own issue. You're literally your own worst enemy in this situation. And stop trying to bully these restaurants for not catering to you. They don't have to if they don't want to. If they're not a vegan restaurant, stop expecting vegan things.
The song was about saving 6-month-old baby pigs from being murdered in gas chambers. It was also a song about not eating cats or dogs or chickens. So I'm not sure what you're writing here. I don't remember talking about gay rights or anything happy. The word gay could mean happy as well. So let me just think about it some more, okay? In case I'm missing something. Let me just read it again. I don't know. I think I'm just going to have to sleep on it. All right? Let me just sleep on it. Maybe if I just have a little nap, I wake up, I'll have the answer, okay?
You might not have noticed it, but I played that at 5 times speed. She actually legit, and this isn't even the whole thing. She literally like quote unquote falls asleep while recording herself and then just sits there with the black screen for like several minutes. No, I did not sit through the whole thing. I skipped through the video to see if there was anything else, but no, it just ends at some point. Now, she's talking about this comment that said her song is gay. Now, obviously, people shouldn't necessarily use that word to describe things of the way that they are. But obviously she knows what they meant. They're just basically telling her that they thought the song was fucking corny and didn't like it. But this is what I'm talking about. She always does this thing where she feigns ignorance towards what people are saying towards her, even though she knows exactly what they mean. She wants to like dodge it. And I'm not saying this is one of the serious questions. It's really not. It's kind of a dumb question, to be honest. Or maybe it's not a question, but a statement. You get what I'm saying? How I would have phrased it is, your songs are corny and sound like shit. Maybe seek out a professional that can help you make something that doesn't make people's ears bleed, but that's just me.
That Granny Bibbins person, I know exactly what you mean. She's terrible. She's essentially encouraging an entire generation to be stupid, to not learn the truth. The vast majority of crops that are grown are fed to cows and pigs and animals that humans eat. We're not eating the animals' food. I mean, when was the last time you saw a cow eating an Oreo cookie? They're vegan, but, there's a bit of palm oil in there. Do you hear the sirens? Another person with a heart attack. This is what happens. It's not the vegans having the heart attacks because we're eating healthy foods. Our veins, our arteries are not all clogged up with cholesterol. Yeah, I agree. I think the Granny Bibbins person should be banned. There should be only allowed people who tell the truth about what happens to the animals. Only good people who are teaching the facts. Just that veganism is healthful for all stages of development. And that it's also best for the planet. I wonder why Granny Bibbins doesn't care about future generations. I guess she figures she'll die and she doesn't really care if the planet is trashed. I mean, animal agriculture is terrible. It's terrible for the environment, for the air, for the oceans, for the earth.
You don't know who Granny Bibbins is? Don't worry, I'll show you.
Veganism is like communism. They're both fine unless you like food. Getting tips with Granny. Did you know that vegetarian is an old Native American word? It means bad hunter. These are farm facts with Granny. Did you know that U.S. beef cattle create 2.2% of greenhouse gas emissions in the U.S. and only 0.5% of the world's, compared to 3.5% greenhouse gas emissions globally from jet fuel? We'll quit farming when they quit flying. Dear vegans, if you love animals so much, then why do you eat all their food? Getting tips with Granny.
So she's kind of the antithesis to that vegan teacher, right? She's another older creator who doesn't really like the concept of veganism or vegans, and has made a little bit of an effort to troll vegans through her shorts. She does more than that, but she does troll vegans. And that vegan teacher caught wind of her and was not having it. She's like, nope, there's only one room for old ladies talking about veganism on here, okay? And that's me, vegan teacher. You better stop it, Granny, or I'll show you what for and how. That's the kind of thing that's happening right now. They're beefing. Vegan beef on the side of vegan teacher and, regular beef on Granny Bibbins' side. But I really don't want to go into the details of some of the dumb claims that she made, because I've already covered these stupid claims like a million times. But one of the ones where she said that, most of the food that is farmed and produced or whatever is fed to cows. The thing is that food is not edible to humans. It's not human grade quality, so that doesn't really matter. It's kind of a completely pointless point. But she's talking about vegans not having heart attacks and stuff. What's interesting is that's something that vegans say a lot, right? For health benefits is the reduction of cardiovascular disease. Now, there can be a correlation depending on like where you're coming from, right? Like if you're already somebody that eats a very heart healthy, non-vegan diet, like you eat a lot of fish, you eat a lot of low cholesterol foods, things like that, going to a vegan diet isn't going to reduce your risk of cardiovascular disease at all. What the people that are seeing a reduced risk are those that are going from those like more high cholesterol, less healthy red meat diets, things like that. That's where that data comes from. But what's interesting is when you look at the overall data, Studies have actually shown that there is really no significant difference in cardiovascular risk. There shows some possibility that it might be lower on vegan diet, at the same time it might not. There is no conclusive data on this at all, though they keep pretending like there's some concrete proof that being vegan means you won't have a heart attack, and that's just falsified bullshit, of course. No, my bad, fabricated bullshit. That's what I usually say.
Blocking stupid people today. Let's see what you say. Why do you drink water? That's a fish's home, you monster. Bye. Responding to comments today, and here's what you say. She is hopeless. Well, I don't know. I mean, do you really think that Called Me Chris is hopeless? Or maybe you're referring to Sniper Wolf? I'm not sure which one you're talking about. I mean, I guess you're kind of right. I mean, they are paying for the rape, torture, and murder of innocent animals. They're paying for their kidnapping. They're basically encouraging people to be cruel to animals, to go underneath cows, push the babies away, and start sucking. I know, it does seem kind of hopeless. But you never know. Maybe a miracle will happen. Maybe Jesus will come and actually talk some sense into them. What do you think? Let me know in the comments.
See, this is what I'm talking about. See, somebody asked a very, very serious question. How dare you drink water? How do you justify drinking water when that is a fish's home? They're right. Fish live in water. They use the water. That's their resource. That belongs to them. What business do you have drinking that water, stealing it out of the mouths of those poor baby fish? How could you do this? To suck that water right out of those fish's gills for your own taste pleasure. It is disgusting, despicable behavior. I can't believe it. She is actually as evil as Joseph Stalin for doing that. Obviously, you know, I'm joking a little bit here. It is an interesting contradiction in a way. Obviously, it's silly as hell because, you know, there's so much water to go around. I would have loved to see her actually try to answer that question in a serious manner, but she just blocks this person, right? Says, goodbye. I'm not gonna answer it. It's because she didn't have an answer. She got tripped up on this one. She didn't know how to justify it in her little delusional vegan brain. Didn't know what to say. Got absolutely stumped by this troll. Kudos to the troll. 1,000 points to Slytherin. Now, she's doing this weird deflection thing again. She knows the person in the comments is calling you hopeless because you are. You're the definition of hopeless. I can't find anything more hopeless than you, or your message, or your cause, anything that you're trying to shit across the internet. It's completely hopeless and fruitless, and I've been saying that forever, and you know it too. That's why you don't even entertain shit anymore. You just block people, you remove them, you keep spewing this garbage knowing it's getting you nowhere, but you don't care because your brain is so fucked up at this point that this is all you know and this is all you can do. It's pretty sad, honestly, watching this happen, but it's her own goddamn fault. She did this to herself. I have no sympathy left. But then she wants to, you know, put Call Me Chris and Sniper Wolf back in her mouth and try to deflect this question onto them. I don't think Call Me Chris is hopeless. I think Call Me Chris is living her best life. She has a big farm with animals that she loves. You know, she has a husband. She has plenty of money. She has a following that actually adores her. She has everything you don't have. If you were to ask any person on this planet who is more hopeless, her or you, it's always going to be you. And that's an obvious choice. I don't understand, like, how she hasn't given up yet. I don't get it. I feel like at this point, knowing that you're just nothing but a joke, that nothing that you say will ever be taken seriously again, that your impact has been reduced to zero. In fact, it's a negative impact. It's even worse than zero. Yet you still get in front of a fucking camera and do this shit every single day. I mean, someone's gotta admit it. It's somewhat admirable so that somebody could be knocked down and pushed around and smacked up this hard for years and still come up and try it again every single day. I mean, that's crazy work. I mean, it's stupid. Obviously, it's fruitless. I'm not admiring it as a good thing. I'm admiring it as a surprising thing, probably, at best. Maybe that's how I'm gonna put this. But I really don't have anything else to say about this lady today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to hit that like and subscribe button and, you know, share it all around if you're into that sort of thing too. See you guys next time.